Hi guys, and welcome to Thankful Thursdays again. For those of you that don't already know me, my name is Cal and I'm on Thursdays with Rachel. For those of you that do usually watch, I'm sorry I wasn't able to get a video up last week. Unfortunately, the previous week, literally as I uploaded my video, my computer died and it wouldn't turn back on or anything. So I only got it back yesterday, so here I am. I'm sticking with the grayscale. Nobody complained and one person quite liked it. So I'm staying with that for the time being because it's preferential to my camera making me look yellow, which it seems to do. But I am hoping to have a new computer later in the year, and I'm going to try and get one with the built-in cam, so we'll see how that works out. But anyway, on to today's topic. As you guys probably know, this week Tara suggested that we each look at doing something outside of our comfort zone and talk to you guys about our experience of that. So this is something that I've actually found myself doing a lot lately, that being going outside of my comfort zone. And for those of you that have had an eating disorder, you'll know what it's like to live with very black and white thinking. That is, something either is something or it isn't something, and there's very definite terms for things and you don't see the grey, which seems appropriate with the grayscale video. But anyway, and for me, when I started to recover, in order to be safe in my recovery, I needed my partner, who I live with, to kind of be with me when I was doing things, and I found that very reassuring. And that kind of pattern has continued despite me being in full recovery now, being completely recovered. And I did work last year, and during that period of time I kind of did that by myself. But in terms of social activities or going shopping or anything like that, I usually generally do those myself and my partner. And I obviously do have friends, but I would go out with my partner and my friends. And if I was going on a course, usually my partner would travel with me and he'd kind of go into the town where we were or whatever while I was doing what I was doing, or stay if he could. And so I kind of got into this routine of very much kind of relying on him. And it wasn't an intentional thing, it was just kind of an accident that happened as part of my recovery. But lately I've been trying to deal with that, and as some of you will know, back when we looked at mindfulness in the videos, I went on a train for the first time by myself and I travelled all the way to London, which is about a 2.5-hour train. And it did have a few hiccups, but as you guys know, I did deal with it pretty well. And I actually haven't done anything, huge by myself since then. But in the last couple of weeks, I've gone on a train again by myself, and I realised in doing that I needed to start to do, more things by myself, because I don't necessarily feel comfortable doing that. My partner's kind of my security blanket type of thing, and so I thought that was good for this week's topic, and it has encouraged me. I recently was accepted to go back to uni to do some postgraduate study similar to Ariel, and I will be studying to be a counsellor. And when I do that, I'm going to have to go on a train every single week by myself. And when I was at uni the first time, I felt I missed out a lot on the social aspect of things because I was sick, and I'm hoping that isn't the case this time. I'm becoming more and more conscious that I can't have my partner with me when I do, everything. So this last week I went to London by myself for the second time. I also decided to meet a friend for coffee, and I did that without my partner. I just went into town, I bumped into a friend, we went and had I and so that was something I did by myself. And today I went into town again and I went for lunch by myself, and this is something that I imagine you guys can relate to, worry about. I went to a restaurant by myself and I ordered lunch and I had lunch, and so doing these types of things is something that I anticipate a lot of anxiety with, and especially in terms of being in places by myself. But I'm actually learning I have been learning since I started the job last year, but more so since I've started travelling myself, which is something that's kind of outside of my general activity anyway. I wouldn't generally travel to London, but I do volunteer work which takes me there, and I'm learning that the anxiety that I think I'll feel isn't as bad as I imagined it would be when I get there. And I think that reminds me a lot of my experience of stopping my eating disorder behaviours as well. I remember thinking how awfully scary it was to eat things that were outside of what was then my comfort zone. And when I actually did them, it turned out to be not so bad, and look, the world hasn't fallen apart type of thing. And I'm finding that with more and more things lately, in terms of travelling by myself, accepting to go back to uni, knowing that I'll be doing that myself, my partner won't be at the same university as me this time, and eating out by myself, meeting friends by myself. And there are all sorts of things that in the last few weeks I've sort of started to do, and prior to that I'd very much relied on my partner, and it completely wasn't a disordered thing, it was just a pattern I'd got into, and I'd become comfortable with the safety of having him with me, quite unintentionally. And so I'm trying to break those patterns, and the reason I'm trying to break those patterns is because I think patterns can be quite restricting in life, and especially in terms of your eating disorder, but even patterns like what I'm referring to here. If you continually are doing the same things over and over again, then it can be quite restrictive in terms of the experiences you're getting out of life. And I'm very much a person that wants to experience everything. I'm very curious and I like new experiences, as long as they're physically safe, considering I have osteoporosis. And so I kind of figured that's what I'd fill this video with this week. I hope that was interesting in some way to somebody, and it would be really great to hear in the comments if any of you guys do anything as a result of this video outside of your comfort zone. Perhaps you might order something to eat that you wouldn't usually eat, perhaps you might meet a friend by yourself like I did, or go out for the day by yourself, or enroll on a new course, take up a new hobby. It'd be great to hear. So I hope you're all doing really well, and I'll be back next week, guys. Alright, take care. Bye.